Hey guys, welcome to round 8. Now, before we get into the recap, as you can see from the title, today is our anniversary. So we've been married for 7 years. I'll just throw up a picture. This is when I proposed. Of course, we had the chess set. This was like a giant chess set that I had, and I cut out a hole in the bottom of the king, and I put the ring in there. And then I had her solve a chess puzzle, and when she solved it, I like tipped over the king, and the ring was there, and that was how I proposed. So anyway, that, like I said, 7 years. Here's a picture of our cake. We got the king and the queen there. But when I was preparing for this tournament, I realized that the last day, today, fell on our anniversary. And so my wife graciously let me participate in it anyway. And so huge thanks to her. I really appreciate that. And even just like this whole YouTube journey thing has been kind of a wild ride, quitting my day job and doing this full time. I couldn't have done it without a lot of support from her. And so big shout out. She's probably going to watch this later, so happy anniversary. But yeah, just wanted to say that. Couldn't have done it without her. And now, having said that, let's get into the game. So round 8 was playing Jesse Wren, 2099. He played e4, and I decided, you know what, let's just change it up. Let's have a little bit of fun. If I'm going to lose every game, the rest of this tournament, I may as well go out with a bang. So I'm like, let's go. E5, knight f3, and here we go, the Latvian gambit. So yeah, it's probably not the soundest opening, but it's pretty complicated and complex, and I have fun with it. Mostly I played in online, like Blitz. I do really well, but I figured let's try it in a long game. So like the main line here is actually queen f6 is probably considered one of the better lines for black. But there's also this knight c6 one, which is very tricky. You actually allow white to play queen h5, g6, they take it, you can bring your knight out. It gets really complicated. It's better for white, but like I said, it gets really, really complicated. And a lot of people with white, for whatever reason, just decide, you know what, let's just not do that. We're not going to go for the complications, and they just trade the knight. And that's what this guy did. He took the, by the way, this was another kid. I'm not sure how old he was, but relatively youngish, younger than me. Been playing a lot of these kids, and they're like really strong. Anyway, he took so I recaptured with the d pawn. This is pretty standard. You want to get the bishop out right away, open up this for the queen, just kind of create open files and diagonals and try to be aggressive. That's pretty much how you play this. So knight c3, I played bishop c5, just putting that bishop on a nice diagonal. It also prevents white from playing d4, and there's tactics here, if white makes some bad moves, like for example, knight a4, I can take this with check, and then there's a fork, and things like that. Of course, I didn't expect that he would actually do that, but it's available. So bishop c5, d3, knight f6. I was just developing. I wanted to castle quickly and just keep getting my pieces out. Bishop e2, castles. And he captured this, so I took it. All right, so we've completed development. We've castled. Now I can start thinking about how to launch an attack here. He plays bishop e3, and at this moment, I really was thinking about taking. And looking at it with the engine now, the engine says I should have taken. And here's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I take. He takes me. What if I play like queen e7, try to pile up on this pawn? And if he plays e4, I had crazy ideas of, wait for it, sacrificing a piece. So I was thinking in my mind something like this: takes, 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 and then maybe I have some counterplay. It didn't seem like quite enough. There was one line where, let's see, which one was it? After I take, like if he took with the knight first, then I was thinking takes, takes, I can go queen h4 check, and after g3, now I can take here. And this looked really good for me. Yeah, engine says this is really good for me. So if that was like forced, I could have got a really nice position. Now his rook's under attack. I don't know what his king's going to do. I can bring this rook here or here. It looks very, very dangerous for white. So that's what I was kind of hoping for. The problem is, like I just said, he can just take with the pawn first. And now I can't go there because he just plays g3, and I can't take it yet because the knight's still defending. And of course, if I take here and then try to go queen h4, well, now the knight can just block knight g3, and I'm dead lost. Now he's just got too many pieces. So I wasted a bunch of time like thinking through that, and then I realized it just didn't work. Now engine says I should have went this way anyway. And what does the engine say I should have played here? I'll just retreat the bishop. Interesting. Bishop either e6 or g6. It seems like it's not sure. G6 it's saying now. So just retreat the bishop was better, I guess, because it still kind of opens up the dark squares. And so if he castles, it's a little bit more risky for white, which makes sense. So Anyway, because I didn't see how to make it work after e4, I decided to not take. Played queen e7. Not like a blunder, but computer doesn't like it quite as much. So we traded. He castled, and I said, all right, let's see. These pieces look pretty nice. This rook looks pretty nice. Queen is all right. This rook needs to get into the game. So how can I do that? And I came up with the idea: bring it here, slide it over, and maybe this pin on this pawn can be useful at some point. I didn't know. So queen here, rook d6, went through with the plan. He plays a3. I think what he was trying to do was force a queen trade. So like queen e3, and then I don't really have anywhere to move my queen to, because if he played queen e3 right away, I could go like queen b4. Now I can't. I think that's the idea. But so I played knight d5, prevents that, and also like makes space for my rook, trying to like, you know, go somewhere and do something over here. So he took this. I took with the pawn, c3, rook h6. Okay, so I'm planning to go queen d6, generate an attack on the king side, and see what happens. This is kind of how you play the Latvian gambit. You be aggressive. You're down a pawn, so you can't really expect to win an endgame. You have to like get checkmate or something. So d4, queen d6. All right, so here we go. The threat is mate in 1. So he's got a couple of options for preventing it. I was thinking g3 and f4, and he went with the best one, f4. So it just blocks the queen, and it, you know, kind of creates an escape route for his king. In some cases, he needs that. Also, the rook can be involved and help support things like this. So good move. I played bishop e4, g3, and now I got excited for like 2 seconds, and then I realized there's just nothing there. But I thought I could take here with my rook. Captures, bring the queen over. There's a checkmate pattern like this, but it only works if the pawn's like back here. Then this would be checkmate. But because it's up on f4, there's just nothing here. He can just run away, right? And he escapes over here. And I mean, I can get this, but I'm just down a rook. I don't have any counterplay anymore. So didn't quite work, unfortunately, but it was close. So now I played g5, and this was probably a little bit overzealous, but I had a nice idea. My idea was that if he takes here, I can just win the game. So if you want to pause and try to find this one, this is kind of a nice one, block the play and win. And if you're ready to see the solution, the move is queen takes g3. It's a beautiful queen sacrifice. Rook comes in for the mate. So I was like, okay, because initially I didn't think I could play g5. He's just going to take it. And then I saw that, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is an option. But of course, he saw that too. He's not going to take it and let me do that. I got really excited though when he went to make his move. He like reached for this pawn, and then he grabbed the pawn, and I'm like, he's going to do it. He's going to take the pawn. And then he goes here, and I'm like, okay, well, almost had it. So f5, good move. The same idea doesn't work because now my rook's blocked off, right? So it's not checkmate. I can still go there, but it's not checkmate. He just runs away again like this. So can't do that, obviously. I just took the pawn. I realized that I was going to lose this, but I thought, okay, I can bring my rook over, and it still looks a little bit tricky. So rook g6, queen f4. Again, he's trying to trade queens, because if he can trade queens, you know, he's just up a pawn, right? We go into an endgame, and I'm just down a pawn. So I don't want that. So I don't want to trade queens. Although Engine is saying you just have to. It's the best move. Just play a5. Go into the endgame, down a pawn. I guess play for a draw. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing another 4-hour game down a pawn just to try to like survive some rook and bishop ending. So queen e7, rook f2, rook f6. Not an awesome move, although I'm just kind of worse here anyway. I didn't really have any awesome moves. So yeah, I just went here. Basically what I'm trying to do is, right now if I move this bishop, he's just going to trade. He's going to take, I'm going to take, he's going to take, I'm going to take, and which is just a big queen and rook trade, right? Anywhere I move this bishop. So I wanted to get out of that sort of pin by playing rook here. Now I can move, and if he takes here, I'm just going to take with my rook, and I just win the queen. So it's not forcing a queen trade or anything. So that's the idea. He plays bishop f3, bishop e4, creating the attack on the queen, queen e3. Nice move. He's just kind of defending everything. And I was looking for like tactics. There's just nothing here. I'm checking it with the engine. There's nothing here. I played the best move, rook e6, but I just don't have anything. So we trade this. Queen f3. Again, he's playing the best moves, and I don't have anything. I'm supposed to play c6. I kind of messed up here. I was afraid that he was going to go here. He's going to come down here with his queen. His rooks are going to get involved. And I felt like I needed my rooks to be involved as well to get some counterplay. But that was the wrong idea. You're going to see why in just a second. So he goes here. I played rook e2. And honestly, I didn't think too long here. This was right around lunchtime, so they moved. This is the last day, so the round started at 10:30, so it's earlier than normal. And so basically I was getting hungry. It's like lunchtime. I'm already kind of tired and worn out from this tournament, so I'm like, I don't want to think too long. I know this is not a good position for me. I'm just not going to sit here and try to find something when there's nothing there. I looked a little bit, couldn't see anything, so I played Rook E2, which was a blunder. And if you want to pause and figure out what can white play in this position, and if you're ready to see the move, it's just simply Queen G4 check. So this wasn't an option before because my rook was covering it, and then I just forgot that, yeah, after I move the rook, it's an option now. So Queen G4 check, obviously I can't move my king anywhere over here. So if I'm going to move my king, I have to go in the corner, but then the rook comes down, checkmate in 1, well, 2, I can sack the queen, but it's still mate. Other option would be blocking with the rook, but then I just lose this. He can just take this with his rook or his queen if he wants, or engine says Queen C8 is even stronger. Okay, but that's one. And then this loses to the immediate checkmate because this is pinned. I can't even take it. So really bad position. Rook E2 is a terrible move. But like I said, I'm already down like 2 to 3 points at this point anyway. So yeah, rough game. But I think it's pretty obvious to me after playing this that the opening is not really the problem, right? This is completely different opening wise from King's Indian, and yet I'm still losing kind of the same way. Why am I losing? So it's a lot of tactics, just missing tactics, right? I didn't see this move. I missed F5, so I probably could have not played that. I missed, what else did I miss? Let's see. Yeah, Rook F2 and the idea of like just bringing these over. I kind of missed that. Just missing moves here and there, and then also getting really tired. Like this, like I said, at this point in the game, I was just like fatigued. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm just, brain is not working very well. That's been a pattern in every single game I've played, right? Like I get to that moment in the game, it's like complicated. It's towards the end. It's like kind of a key moment. I need to be sharp, and I'm just tired. And that has nothing to do with the opening. That's just, I need to get in better mental shape and physical shape too. Like when I was younger, 8 years ago, when I used to play, I was like playing soccer and racquetball and working out like every day. I was in really good shape, and I think mentally it helps you too. So yeah, I mean, and let's check the accuracy. I think he played this game really well. Let's go to game review, and we'll turn this on for you. So any day now. Yeah, 88.9. He didn't really have any big mistakes. You can see 3 inaccuracies, but no mistakes, no blunders. And then I had a couple of, mistakes there. So, I mean, I'm playing strong players. I don't want to take away credit from everybody that I'm playing. They're playing good chess, but I'm just not like real sharp either. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that recap. I need to get ready and pack up my stuff, check out of the hotel, get some food, get ready for the last round. And then I'll do the final recap at home tonight when I get home. So anyway, yeah, to my wife, happy anniversary. Love you and appreciate the support. For everyone else, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.